Hi guys, in this video we are going to be breaking down the importance of psychology in marketing. I'm here with my friend Thomas, who actually studies psychology, so you're going to get a business perspective, and so it's more validated and you're leaving with some key information, someone who studied psychology. So let's give a bit of a background about him, what he done, etc.
Hello, my name's Thomas King, and I'm very grateful to be on this channel. Should I mention the name of the channel? I don't know the name of the channel. I've known her since the age of 4 from primary school. I'm a Cardiff University psychology graduate, just graduated in July, having done 3 years in Cardiff and a year at Yale University studying social cognition.
What is this? This is
14th floor of the Psyc department.
Thomas is studying psychology, so this is where you do some lectures, but then you're working
and
here.
And social stuff as well.
And it's with what is it?
AstraZeneca.
You've done the vaccine.
In order to get clients, in order to engage with people and sell a service.
Or product.
We have to foster human connection. We have to understand what the client wants. How can we sell them a service that makes them feel better, happier, does something for them to profit, they get something out of. Attention is scarce in today's age. There's such an information overload. People are getting such immediate gratification from dopamine and rewards of doom scrolling and Instagram Reels and TikToks. So marketing is more important than ever in how can we capture one's attention in such a short space of time. How can we, often videos having to be 30 seconds or less to sell products. Mm-hmm. Most fundamental reason is that when people are looking for services, they buy with feelings, not facts. I.e., Luella's told me stuff about her business before where it sells X amount of products, she gets 86% growth, money this, money that. Those numbers are all great and they're good evidence to show that you can add value to a business. So it is important to have them. But I think more important is how you connect with the audience, how you connect with what people want, how people want to feel.
For example, I would say linking with that would be, for example, if I'm on a call with a client or this is more so service-based businesses, rather than me saying to Thomas, okay, yes, it's good to show case studies. This is what I got for this client and these are the results I got for them. I made them X amount of money. They sold this. It would be better for me to say to you, okay, you've been struggling with this issue for X amount of time. This is how you're feeling. It's dragging you down.
People obviously they want added value, but a number is just a number.
Exactly.
If you can show where real raw value is added,
exactly,
which is, people's perception of the business, the branding of the business, the marketing of the business. I mean, there's a reason why in marketing colour is so important, because colour is such an emotive
That's
thing.
A good point, actually.
There's a whole colours convey emotions. So how can you incorporate them in visual marketing? Mm-hmm. That's one branch of psychology, marketing and emotions and how that transcends and how those interact.
Okay, didn't know that.
But I think and if you've seen the film Inside Out, I hate to bring up the cliche, but I do think it tells an important story at the end of the film when, sadness is needed to be happy. Mm-hmm. I think this is the same in marketing. Some sadness, some nostalgia, some journey, some development, some problem, pitfall, something that went bad.
Linking to that, this is really literally linking to that. I was watching this video with Shelby Sapp. She's like a salesperson, and she was literally talking about when she's selling to people or on like a sales call with them, rather than focusing on the positive, which is like, oh, okay, your business is here now and we're going to get you to this point and it's going to be really good or whatever. She will focus on the negative. I might get a clip of her in this video so we can, for the example, but she will be like I just said, you're basically focusing on the pain points, so really honing that in. Okay, you might be suffering with this and this is why it's making you feel like X, and this is why my solution or my product or my service can help you get to Y, and that has helped her sell more than focusing on just the positive, if that makes sense. Linking to your Inside Out example, or Inside Out example.
And I also think people don't learn really that much from what works. It's more like what doesn't work and what needs changing that helps the business grow. The second reason why psychology is such an important part of marketing is because in today's age, attention is so scarce in individuals. Instagram, Reels, TikTok are harnessed around using people as products, about continuous scrolling, advertisements being paid advertisements from companies to capture and draw your attention.
That's why the platforms are free, you have to remember, because they're making money off the ads that are on there, so they want you on there for longer.
And this is where marketing is going. Where 30, 45-second videos happen to be people's attention span.
Even 10 seconds.
Even 10 seconds.
The importance of psychology with that is that you need to understand your consumer very, very well to make sure that you're capturing their attention. And where you have all these companies that are, putting out all this content, if you actually want to get that person's attention compared to the 1,000,001 other companies that are out there, you need to make sure that you understand your customer thoroughly compared to the others that don't, because it's going to be, you need to capture their attention, basically.
And I think this is equally important for, say, Luella, who is, a boss in this.
Okay.
What would you call it? An employer. Because there's so much content.
Mm-hmm.
We have never had such unprecedented access to such a vast amount of content in human history.
Yeah, literally.
And because there's such a sheer load of information, it's pretty much information overload on individuals. Mm-hmm. So you have to be able to harness and target specific individuals for your business.
And you can only do that if you understand who you're speaking to.
Could you maybe tell us a bit about this experience of how, out of LinkedIn or out of this vast amount of consumers, how you're able to market yourself and your business and engage with those target consumers that you want to engage with?
So I would say I'd say in my case, when you're like a business owner, we're not talking like direct to consumer, we're talking like business to business. For example, if I sell a service, which I do, and I want to work with Thomas, or I want him to be a client, I would make sure that, again, and I harp on about this in every video, I need to understand Thomas's pain points. And this, I suppose, links in psychology slightly, because he's not going to be, attracted to my content if I'm not talking about what interests him and if he sees my content, or if someone sees my content and I'm speaking directly to their pain points or certain situations that, they're suffering within their business, they're more likely to give me their attention and want to actually work with me, as opposed to
connect you, because they will then see you as a real person with real problems that they face.
And I'd say, I was speaking to Thomas about this earlier, I'd say, like, before I started making the content and whatnot, before I was making it on LinkedIn, I was doing a lot of like reaching out to people on LinkedIn, or I do a lot of cold outreach. And even with that, you see a massive difference between, even now I have a lot of people reaching out to me, but I know if I'm to drop someone a cold message, what I try to do is now warm messages. You'll see a difference between people that say, okay, I've seen your business, I've done this X for this company, and this is how I can do it for you, compared to how I used to do it, which was, this is what your company is doing now, this is what you're doing well, this is how you can improve, and this is how I would do it for you. And when people would come on calls with me, they'd say, okay, we can see you actually took the time to look into our business, understand what we're doing well, understand what we can improve on, and that's why we wanted to give you the time of day, compared to those that, just us sending out thousands of emails a day just to get a couple of responses. And now with the content that I'm doing, I suppose that because I know and have worked with enough people in similar positions to the people that I want to work with, let's say I want to work with Thomas as a client, but I've worked with several others, I understand that their problems are going to be similar to his. And when I make my content, I can speak to him in a way that resonates, because I understand the types of problems he's going through and how I can solve it, if that makes sense.
Okay, a point that you mentioned earlier, I feel like I'm just hijacking this video now.
Go right ahead.
A point that you mentioned earlier was, and is very important in cognitive psychology, about framing, and how we frame and how we are perceived in business. And I think that is a fundamental part of how psychology and marketing cross over. You mentioned this woman, what was her name, about how she looks at the sad parts or the negative parts of the business. How do they frame stuff to make you act quickly, because that's the age we're in. We're in an age where, you know, we act quickly, maybe impulsively as well. Is it a more impulsive age? But that's a different story. But this is where marketing is going. It is about urgency.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously, yes, about human connection, but people urgently want solutions. People urgently want services that are going to tackle those solutions. So I think framing is important, and how urgently we can frame our business to suit the needs of individuals, I think, as well.
And also, like you said earlier, following on from the booking.com example, the Airbnb example, and and what was it, talking about reviews and like, I feel like how that ties into psychology, obviously you would know more than me, but like the power of influencing and knowing that if I'm going to stay in this hotel, stay in this Airbnb, or buy this product, knowing that other people have done it also makes me more likely or feel more confident in booking the Airbnb or booking the whatever. And you were talking earlier about, like, or to me earlier off camera, about reviews or like testimonials or whatever. Go on.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this is basic normative social influence. We are social animals. We want to connect with other people. We want to go with the majority. That is us as humans. Answer me this: when was the last time that you were booking a hotel room or a holiday, an inclusive holiday, that had no reviews, that had nothing, you know, no way of understanding how the service benefited someone, and you went with it? You don't.
That's a very
because the first thing you do, whether you're on Amazon and you're buying a hair product, or you're on booking.com and you're buying a boat cruise, or you're buying a hotel room, the first thing you look is comments about other people that have stayed there. Because if other people have had positive experiences, we as humans, we trust strangers. It validates the service as more valuable.
We trust strangers more than we trust corporations. For example, you might have your Airbnb, you've put up your Airbnb, of course you're going to say it's great, and of course you're going to list it as it has all these amendments and it's great for X and Y reason, but I'm more likely to book your Airbnb if I see that Sally and Jane and Tyrese and all these other people have booked it. I'm not just going to trust you as the business, or you as the person, or you as the service provider. So an action point for this one would be, when you're putting out, whether it's you've made your, put together your website, or whether you are putting together content, it is making sure that you are also focusing on putting out social proof content. So that might be reviews or testimonials or whatever it is.
Or quotes of your experience.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Luella's hair product because she runs part of her subsection of her business is she markets for hair and beauty products. I love how Luella dealt with my marketing, and I would definitely recommend her employment. And this is something I was saying to Luella, and what you as new business owners should be doing is you should be asking for references from the companies you work with, because a reference is often more valuable than even the money, because then it entrusts you in future. Like, that's the same, like, I'm in academia and we have to get references to get research positions. It's exactly the same. You write to a professor or someone you've worked with, and they will tell that person via letter about your relationship with them. Were you a suitable candidate? Did you work well with them? Could you do X, Y, and Z? Are you trusted for another role? It is the same. It works the same everywhere, because it develops trust, it develops value, it shows you're integral and you're going to provide the service that you said you would. This whole concept of fear, this whole concept of desire, and what people want now. People, we talk about framing again, people don't want, are aversive to losses.
For example, talking about like guarantees, you could apply that to business, rather than if I was selling something to you and it's like, I'm gonna, for example, how you have like HelloFresh and it's like those box meals or whatever. It's like, if I say when I'm advertising it, I'm gonna give you this, like you'll get these packages of food, but if you don't like it, you'll get your money back, then you're taking out the fear of what you just said.
Fear of loss aversion. But I do feel like this plays a lot into urgency, this fear of loss aversion. Act now before it's too late. There's a lot of that sort of urgency that it sells a lot, because people might be desperate and missing out. No one wants to miss out. And
Yeah, but
I think
does that
with
work
marketing,
as much as it used to in the past?
I think even more so. I think with marketing in today's age, you know, you see drops on, say, like a fashion product.
That's a good point.
You know,
do you know Broken Planet?
Broken, is that? I think there was one in Birmingham. It might have been the same one.
No, it's like a company and they just do drops. I'm sure you know Broken Planet.
It's like a clothing company.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Well, this is how Kylie Jenner got big.
Is it?
Because she used to just do drops for her lip kits, and then it sells you as an exclusive brand. You know, it bigs up your luxury. That becomes your identity. That, you know, you are this elusive brand that, you know, is difficult to get.
That's a very good point.
Another example was Yeezys. Yeezys back in the day, they'd have, say, 15 pairs of a special Yeezy shoe, and it would build up so much hype about this product, and they sell it. Or Prime, it's the same with Prime. When Prime was starting out, what got it so big, apart from obviously them both being famous and having a lot of fans, was that the flavours, they only released a certain amount, so there was a massive demand, supply and demand. Which is also delving into economics, but it's also very related to psychology as well.
Guys, final message. Right.
Don't listen to anything we've said.
Yeah.
Because none of it is important.
Exactly.
Reverse psychology. That is how you market.
But yeah.
It is true though.
I just wasted all my time watching this video. I hate these people. Never show up on YouTube again.
I hate these people.
Okay, guys, I hope you found the video useful. I hope that having a psychologist's mind also added value to the video. And, you know, drop a like, let me know in the comments what, you know, you took away that was most valuable and what you'd like to see next. And I know you probably won't want to see him again on the YouTube channel, but if you did, let me know in the comments. There'll probably be none. And yeah, so I will see you very soon, and peace out.